Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of the Team Daddy Weekly Recap. I am your host, Shapiro the Hero, aka the Hebrew Hammer. We have come to the final week of the regular season, and with 5 teams fighting for 3 playoff spots this week could bring a lot of upsets, heartbreak, joy, and misery. But hey, that's the holidays. I'll break down who's in and who's out, who's won money this season, and who needs a Christmas miracle to make the playoffs. But first, as always, a word from our sponsors. This week's recap is brought to you by Ace Bandages. When your star player is hurt, give them an Ace Bandage and hope they can suck it up and get you points. Can you guys tell I'm a little butthurt this week? But enough of my complaining, let's get to the recap. As always, we'll kick things off with the matchup of the week, the Swansboro Bowl. This one came down to a windy Monday night game in Buffalo. But in the end, the younger Swans prevailed as Kyle knocks off the defending champ 154 to 149.75. Despite getting 0 points from Jacoby Myers on Monday night, Kyle was able to win thanks to 34 points from Kyler Murray and 35.5 from Deontay Johnson. Captain Van Jefferson also scored 24 points for Kyle, and waiver wire pickup Kenneth Gainwell contributed 19.7. The Elder Swans got a big game from Hunter Renfrow in the absence of star tight end Darren Waller, but it was ultimately Josh Allen's human form, not his usual otherworldly self, that did him in. The champ is now 6-7 and will play PJ next week for a shot at a playoff berth. Kyle has already locked up a spot in the playoffs at 9-4 and will play Brett for a shot at that all-important first-round bye. As for our only true father, I guess Brett listened to me when I said last time that Connor should set his lineup for him. Brett defeated PJ this week 167.3 to 108.55. A solid lineup all around this week. Brett's big scorers were Antonio Gibson, Captain Taylor Heineke, Elijah Moore, and surprising big gains from his defense and kicker. PJ got 41.45 points from QB Justin Herbert, but couldn't get much else. It has been a season to forget for our beloved commissioner, who is now 2-11 and preparing for the toilet bowl. Brett is now 8-5, firmly in the playoffs, and will face Kyle next week in hopes of a first-round bye. Another team in strong contention for a first-round bye is Zach. He moves to 9-4 on the season after beating me 124 to 102.55. Captain Mike Evans and running back Josh Jacobs each scored 24 points to lead Zach to victory, and he also got decent games from Derek Carr and Michael Gallup. I'm going to be a little sore here and complain that my captain, Adam Thielen, got hurt after only 1 catch, and that probably cost me the game this week. But such is football, and I needed other guys in my lineup to step up as well. I did make $10 off Jake Elliott's leg this week, and I got nice games from Leonard Fournette and Lamar Jackson. I am now 7-6 and will face Cheese this week to hopefully get back into the playoffs. Zach will take on Big John in Week 14 as he tries to lock up that first-round bye. Speaking of Big John, while he is officially out of playoff contention, he did potentially play spoiler this week as he defeated Cheese 114.9 to 109.75. Despite 2 picks and a fumble, quarterback Joe Burrow was his team's leading scorer this week with 23.6 points. Gronk also eclipsed 20 points for the second week in a row, and even Big John's bench put up big numbers. Cheesy Baby got 21-point gains from Alexander Madison and Mike Williams, but could not do much else this week with almost everyone on his bench either hurt or on a bye. At 6-7, Cheese is still alive for a playoff spot, but he must beat me this week to even have a shot. Big John is now 5-8 and will play Zach in Week 14. After missing out on highest team score in Week 12, it was Josh who scored the most points this week in the league, as he upsets our mentee 207.65 to 184.9. It was 40.6 points from Justin Jefferson, 33 each from Matt Stafford and Javonte Williams, and another 22.4 from Keenan Allen, as Josh all but solidifies his playoff spot with a win. Our mentee has already clinched a playoff spot, but he is in jeopardy of falling out of first place with this loss. Despite 30-plus points from Cooper Kupp and Dallas Goedert, and another 28.3 from Jonathan Taylor, our mentee is now 8-5 and currently in third place. He will face Jed in Week 14 to try to get back into first, while Josh will look to clinch a postseason berth against George. And in our final matchup of Week 13, Jed keeps his playoff hopes alive after beating George 192.25 to 118.15. Tight end George Kittle was the league's highest scorer this week, and Jed got another 43.3 points from Tom Brady as he staves off elimination for another week. George got 35.2 points from Chris Godwin and another 22.2 from Miles Sanders, but ultimately found himself on the wrong end of bang bang skeet skeet. George drops to 5-8 and has officially been eliminated from playoff contention. I'm sorry. Plus, he still owes me $10 for Survivor, so not really that sorry. Brother George will finish the regular season against Josh, while Jed needs a win over Armenti and a lot of help to make the playoffs. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the standings. As we enter the final week of the regular season, Kyle is actually in first place over Zach by 111 points. Remember, first place is the only seed that gets a first round bye this year. Armenti is in third and Brett in fourth, but either team could still take over first place with a win. Spots 5 through 9 are where it gets really interesting. We have Josh in 5th and me at 6th, both at 7 and 6. However, each of us could still technically be eliminated with a loss this week. Swans is in 7th, Cheese in 8th, and Jed in 9th, all at 6 and 7. 3 teams battling it out for one playoff spot should make for an interesting final week. As for our teams already eliminated, Big John is in 10th and George is in 11th. That will be a consolation matchup 2 weeks from now, and the loser of that game will most likely face PJ in the Toilet Bowl, as he sits in the basement at 2 and 11. As promised, here is an update on our weekly winners. Swans leads the way in money won with $110. I've won $80, and Armenti, Big John, Kyle, and Steve have each won $50. Josh and Brett have each won $40, and Jed and Zach have each won $20. Even PJ has $10 thanks to Daniel Carlson. The only person who has not won anything yet in the weekly matchups is George. However, weekly matchups do run through the playoffs, so remember to set your lineups even if you are eliminated. Week 14 is shaping up to be a wild one. Lots of people jockeying for playoff position and 5 teams fighting for just 3 spots. Who will finish on top and get that huge first round bye? Which team's injuries will be too much to handle? And who will join PJ, George, and Big John in the race for the Toilet Bowl? All the answers will be revealed in just 7 days. Until next time, thank you as always for watching. This has been your Team Daddy Recap. I am the Hebrew Hammer, and I will see you next time. L'chaim, motherfuckers!